Hello and welcome to another video. Many of us believe that the place that we live in is mundane and it's unphotographable, and we stop seeing it. And maybe the place where some of us live is mundane. But does that mean that the photography has to be mundane too? We assume the great images exist somewhere else, like mountains, skylines, dramatic dawn light and so on. So it feels like there's nothing worth photographing. And that to me is the grass is always greener trap. You tell yourself that there's no variety on your doorstep, so great photos feel impossible. Well, they're not, and I'm going to show you how to make them right where you live right now. So these are the frustrations that people seem to keep coming back to, the doubts, the sticking points. You might recognize one or two of them, and they are common to a lot of people, but they are also fixable. I'm going to walk you through 5 things and ideas that you can start using immediately. You'll begin creating images that you'd normally admire in somebody else's portfolio. And my goal is simple. The next time you step outside, maybe just for 10 minutes or an hour or a whole day, that you come back with work that's clearly stronger than what you were making before. So the first point I want to talk about is about the inspired moment. And in my genuine opinion, this is the most important part of photography. So when you go out to shoot, you need to stop hunting for interesting things. You don't have any mountains, so forget them. And you need to stop wishing for sunsets. In fact, don't look for anything. So that's already going to be a bit of a mindset change. And then just walk and relax and don't think too hard about anything. And every now and then you're going to feel something. It could be a tiny moment that barely registers, a rush of excitement. And it might be such a small feeling that you doubt that it's anything to take notice of at all. But it would just be a feeling. But it makes you think, I think there's a photo there. Is there a photo? What is it that I'm feeling? And that's the moment. And when it happens, you stop. You don't argue with it. You don't dismiss it. You trust it. Then you ask one question. What exactly did I just see? Was it a shape, a line, a relationship between objects? And that feeling is your instinct recognizing that there's a composition there before your conscious mind has even realized it. And every great photographer works like that. They've trained themselves to notice it and then to react to it. And that instinct doesn't care whether you're in a car park or on a mountain at dawn. And that is the secret of this. And you need to understand that that instinct is completely prejudice free. It doesn't discriminate between concrete slabs or mountains. And if you learn to trust that moment, then you can make compelling photos of anything, anywhere, at any time. So the second point that I want to make is about removing your pain points, which is a really easy and simple thing to do when you're photographing locally. So if photographing at night makes you uneasy, then don't shoot at night. If you're uncomfortable photographing people, then don't photograph people. Because the moment you start to feel anxious, you stop thinking about composition and you start thinking about fear, awkwardness, or how quickly you can leave. And that kills creativity. So set boundaries and create a framework that you're comfortable working within. And photographers do this all the time. You know, those videos where I shot 35mm for a month or I used only one lens. Well, they are restricting options to increase focus and creativity. And I'm suggesting the same thing, but psychologically. Remove the situations that distract or stress you and work inside a space where you feel calm and in control. Because when you're comfortable, your attention goes back to where it should be, which is composing your photos. And this is a massive advantage of photographing where you live. Because there's no big commitment, no travel, no cost, and no pressure to get that shot. That freedom lets you work inside a simple, controlled framework and focus on what actually matters, creating compelling compositions. So then we come on to point number 3, which is always adjust your composition to suit the light. If your photos only work in epic light, then it's your compositions that are not strong enough. Too many photographers chase a specific look. Dawn, dusk, golden hour, and when the light doesn't cooperate, frustration and disappointment sets in. And this is a massive beginner problem. And that's another trap that people fall into, because there is no such thing as bad light. There's only light that doesn't suit the composition that you had in your head. So you need to flip it around. Build the composition around the conditions in front of you. Then it's not good or bad light. It's just light, waiting to become a compelling image. And then that takes you straight back to point number 1, responding to that inspired moment. Because that moment tells you how to compose the frame. And you just have to trust that feeling. Most people struggle with that until they practice and keep on practicing. So now we come on to point number 4, which is always take the photo. If there's even the slightest feeling, even doubt about whether it was a feeling, then take the photo. Being local is to your advantage. You're not the other side of the world climbing a mountain. You're not waiting for a sunrise, so there's no pressure in that respect. So shoot. Every time something catches your attention, respond. But whatever you do, don't walk past the shot. No matter how doubtful you are or may be, always take the photo. Just before we move on to point number 5, just a quick little plug for some little bits and pieces. If you want to go deeper into all of this, there's a free newsletter you can sign up to. So just scan the QR code on screen. And I've got an ebook and a full comprehensive 5-hour course that breaks this whole process down step by step. All links are below in the description. And if this video helped in any way, then please let me know in the comments below and consider subscribing, which will really help the channel grow. And my final point is point number 5, which is be utterly selfish. So when you're actually taking the photo, composing and so on, everyone and everything must become irrelevant. No forums, no Reddit, no camera club, no Instagram, not your mate with an opinion, no friends, no family, and not anyone you may be with. It's just you and the scene in front of you. This is your response to your environment, your instinct, your decision. Be utterly selfish in that moment. Because the second you start thinking about what other people might say, you stop seeing clearly and you might start to doubt yourself. And when that happens, you may as well just randomly point the camera anywhere and click, because everything about the inspired moment will be gone. When you start to doubt yourself, the inspired moment disintegrates. And here's the advantage of shooting where you live. You've got time. There's no pressure. There's room to experiment, room to get it wrong over and over again so that you can get it right later. So make it yours and yours alone. So now you've got all those ideas, now let's turn them into a process. So in the next video right here, I'm going to take that first inspired moment and show you exactly how it becomes a finished image using a formula that delivers compelling images every time you press the shutter.